if you know how to clean up the image and do dodge and burn, just jump straight away to the next section about color grading itself. And for those of you who don't know how to clean the image professionally, I'm going to show you in this simple few lessons how to clean up the image, because that's a very basic process. So cleaning up the image is simply removing all of the spots and imperfections to make your image look better. And it's usually two parts. The first part of cleaning up is cleaning up the spots itself, so removing all of this. Let me create new layer. All of these tiny imperfect spots like here. Sorry for taking too much time. Seems my brush doesn't work right now. Yeah, it's not really good. Let me just open the image once again. Sometimes it happens. It's difficult to find the reason, but maybe you had the same adventure that sometimes brush doesn't happen. As you can see now, it works. It's not really about the settings, but maybe it's too heavy for computer sometimes to process. Okay, let's go back. So these tiny spots, that's the first part that we need to take care of. And there is not any fancy techniques. There's very basic technique. Don't listen to anyone who give you any fancy techniques, because that's not true and that's not how the retouching works. So let's clean the image, and the next part of this will be dodging and burning. I'm going to show you this in a very simple way. So even if you're starting, don't worry about that. To remove the spots, I go at first with healing brush tool. The sample, remember, current below, because we clean on this empty layer to make this non-destructively, because if we work this on the actual image, there will be no way to go back. And if we work on this empty layer, you always can remove this layer if we do any mistake or clean this. So first step is I work with normal blending mode. As you can see, nothing complicated. Just hit next to the spot and clean it. How this tool works, let me tell you. We press Alt or Option next to the spot, and we are copying the texture that exists next to the spot. And when we apply to the spot, it copies the texture and adjusts the color that is around. That's how Healing Brush works, for those of you who didn't know that. And what you need to do, just spend a few minutes. This model had the day when some spots eventually comes out, so you need to spend a few minutes on cleaning this and maybe some other imperfections that you find shouldn't exist on the image. And there is, as I said, the first tool that we're using is Healing Brush tool, most common. Most of the people using Healing Brush tool. Remember to not clean really too much, because this is natural image, natural light outdoor. You don't want this to be overdone. So just few imperfection. And the other tool that I use is Clone Stamp tool. To switch it, just S on your keyboard is Clone Stamp tool and J is Healing Brush. You can easily switch between these two. So for what I'm using Clone Stamp, you would think I'm using this to actually fix the layer, but yeah, it can fix, but it has different nature than Healing Brush tool. It copy the texture and the color, so it will not be that easy to work with this, because as you can see, it copied the color, so sometimes it looks a little rough. But I use Clone Stamp to soften the skin texture if I have this rough texture. I use, as you can see, soft edged brush, and what I do, very soft. I'm not pressing strong, I'm trying to paint softly to soften the areas I don't like. So if you have image with really big pores, this is the way you can do. Just press softly next to it and you will be you will more likely won't have any issues with softening the skin texture. So that's it. That's very simple how you clean the image. You don't need any fancy techniques. You need these two tools and literally 5 minutes of work. As you can see, sometimes I can clone from other part. I think it's imperfect and the image is nearly clean. So that's what you need. Give me a few minutes more. I will clean the image and we'll be back to you straight after. This image already looking a little better. Just a few more spots to clean. And as you can see, if you have this issue, you don't need to watch any YouTube videos. You just remember how to use the tools and it will be easy for you and it give you best results and non-destructive results.